I said, Peter, don't fall for it. I said, don't fall for it.
Then you gotta move.
Then you gotta move. Welcome back to Redacted Show. I'm your host, Walfeek, or Feek, with my co-host, my other host.
It's your co-host, Dana Dane, in the building. We are here for a review for the brand new
Day.
Spider-Man Brand New Day, which has come out on Thursday at the time of this recording, on July 30th. That was a preview showing. July 31st was the worldwide showing. So we're not going to waste no more time. We're going to get straight to it. Before we do that, just one last thing. Just make sure you guys subscribe. Almost at 100 subscribers. Please. Make sure you share it word of mouth. But I know typically we do our non-spoiler review, but we just have a lot to talk about. And honestly, there's not really much you can talk about with this movie without getting into spoilers. So we and Feek, we enjoyed this movie. My rating is at least an 8.5 out of 10. What would you say your rating is, Feek?
My rating, off that first watch, my rating was a 9.5.
Yeah. It was good. But if you guys have not seen the Spider-Man movie, please click off this video. Before you click off, make sure you like and subscribe. Then watch the movie. Come back so you can engage in this dialogue. But how we do our movies, we don't usually review chronologically. We just click characters or scenes that we feel are worth discussion, kind of popcorn review, and also talk about what we think this movie sets up later on down the line. So obviously I really want to get into Tom Holland, the obviously Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Maynard,
boy.
Oh, so funny story. So there's a slight tangent we'll get back to. There's a hardware store, like a smaller Home Depot in Kansas City. I think it's mainly out of there, and it's called, I used to call it Maynard, but it's called Menards. So when he said Maynard in the movie,
So, I know that reference.
I know that place. But Tom Holland, Spider-Man, we see him pretty much where all of us Spider-Man fans wanted us to see him at. Kind of some setting up of the movie. It starts out at like right after the events of, I guess, No Way Home. Maybe a few months after that, it's their first time. It's MJ and Ned's first time getting into first day at MIT, and it's kind of a time jump montage through their 4 years. So by the time the movie really kicks off, it's 4 years past the events of No Way Home, and we see that pretty much weighing on Tom Holland and Tom Holland's Spider-Man character, and he acted his ass off. Like, this is the Spider-Man we've wanted to see for so long. And we, at least in the MCU, we haven't seen that yet until now.
Yeah.
He did a really good job. Just, like, you could, I don't know what it was, but he just felt more Spider-Man. Like, a lot of this movie was like, it made me think back to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, like how that felt, like just very, like nothing was too big for him in terms of everything that was going on in the movie, but you could tell he was struggling internally, and this movie was on full display of that. And I think Tom Holland really showed that in this movie. What are your thoughts on just Spider-Man? Tom Holland's portrayal of him in this movie, and
Yeah, so to start off, Tom Holland did great. He acted his off in this movie. I'll say that. I think, and it's going into what you talked about, I think this is the most complete I felt with Tom Holland's Spider-Man as a whole, with him being Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And I think it's one of the best Spider-Man in general performances we've seen ever.
That's a high praise.
I and at the very end, I do want to rate the movies, but I think this is one of the best performances as Spider-Man as a whole, because one thing that this movie did real good was displaying, and it talks about that throughout the movie, is that internal struggle he had, because one, he goes from being part of, we won't say an official Avengers member, but part of the Avengers, part of a team. He has his aunt, he has his friends, but now he's, after the events of the last movie, he's set to not even zero. He's set to below zero, right? Because nobody knows him. He's by himself. And I like that throughout the movie when he's talking to Jean DeWolf, the officer, she's also emphasizing, like, bro, you need to talk to somebody. Like, it's in a joking manner, but you could tell she's genuinely like, all you do is talk. Like, from my perspective, all you do is talk to me. I don't know if you really have friends for real. And you see other characters say that, they're like, you're lonely as hell, bro. But I think that's such a big part of Spider-Man's character at the same time, where he has to be, or he's always portrayed a lot in the comics as lonely. Because even when he's had chances to join the Avengers in comics, he's turned it down, or he's seen things and he's like, nah, I really don't want to do this. So I think that's a really big piece that they got right. And the other aspect too was making the movie scale it by scaling the movie back. Because when we're first introduced to Tom Holland, it's in Civil War. When he's first introduced into like being fight, it's Civil War. So that's a big event. That's a huge event in itself. After that, we get Infinity War. You got Thanos. You have the end-level boss. Then you have Endgame, another end-level. He's not as much in that movie, but still he's in the movie. So you have 3 back-to-back movies where it's like end of the world. All these people are in there going. We haven't seen you just in New York in your setting. We've seen it in the other Spider-Man movies, but they still weren't to this effect. It was more so you with your friends than in New York. Mm-hmm. So I like that aspect of this movie, that it brought it back home, where it's saying, okay, you're in New York. How are you interacting with the citizens? And that's a key part to me in Spider-Man's characters. How is he interacting with people? How is he going about his day? And how does that play into one, stuff being, as Yelena said, small potatoes, but then going into being a big potato situation. And so
I think, I don't mean to cut you off, but I think that was the perfect way for, I guess, non-Marvel people to like distinguish what an Avengers level threat is, like when the Avengers need to get involved, versus when it's like, not my scope, not my problem. Like,
it's not my jurisdiction.
Too small, right?
And that's
y'all handle this.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. That scene, like you said, I'm about to re-say exactly what you said. That scene was perfect, because it's always, and I love the memes. It's always the memes saying, "Man, where the Avengers at? Man, all this stuff happening." Because a lot of times when it comes to these things, we've seen Spider-Man go to the Fantastic Four before for help. We've seen Spider-Man go to Avengers for help or talk about things. We've seen him go to the X-Men for things. A lot of times these units or groups of heroes are saying to him, look, Spider-Man, we know you got a problem, but we got our own stuff we're dealing with. So, like, it ain't that big a scale right now. Like, go fix it yourself. Like, go fix your own block. We got bigger fish to fry.
Go to Doctor Strange, like, yeah, man, I wish I could help, but I'm trying to fight off Dormammu from eating our world, so I ain't got the bandwidth to be doing that shit.
Exactly. So I really like that they showed that, but then it also shows, I think, another big thing with Spider-Man is a lot of times the stuff that is considered small to other people, it turns out to be big, and then they're like, damn, Spider-Man, why didn't you tell us? He's like, well, nigga,
I tried to tell y'all
that this
I tried to tell you. Then Yelena, they're like, this kind of turned into some medium potato type shit. Turned into one of my favorite scenes was really when I liked when he was kind of working with Frank, like especially Tom Holland and John Bernthal's banter back and forth. You could feel that through the movie, and I loved every time they was on screen together. It just was like big bro, little bro. I also really enjoyed the like slight nod where they kept referring back to Staten Island, which I low key think is a tie.
We need to know what's happened on Staten Island. I need to.
I think
Marvel,
there's
we need to
events
know.
after the Punisher. It had to happen between the Punisher and this movie, and I think it had something to do with it. Like he got out of his depression. He's like, I'm full Punisher now, doing fighting off Minucci shit, and he probably was fighting Minucci, but Minucci had him by like on a thread, and lo and behold, Spider-Man was like doing a kick-a-dough, and yeah, literally saved his life. But I would love this. I would love a deleted scene or just some scene where we can see that. There's got to be footage of it somewhere. Or they got to be making it, but I would love to sneak in Marvel's vault and see that.
Yeah, I do have one question for you because I saw a little discourse about this. I was still talking about Peter Parker and Spider-Man. It was some people saying, not a lot, but I've seen a few people saying how they I guess you could say they didn't like the way, I guess they showed his, I don't want to say his depression, but I guess the way he reacted to it. Some people were saying they felt like, man, he's already been involved with Thanos, all this, like the blip happened, all this stuff. How is he acting so normal? Because in my mind, it's not that he's acting normal. It's the fact that after the events in the last movie with his aunt and all that, and him coming to that realization, like, I have to go back to zero, that I kind of don't have the leeway to really be, I don't want to say sad, but I don't have the leeway to feel how I probably should be feeling almost.
Yeah.
So I guess what is your thoughts about that? Because some people brought up like, oh, well, Tony Stark was dealing with depression and he was tweaking out, and Thor damn near lost how to use his power. So how is Spider-Man just chilling but not chilling in this situation?
I think, like, it ultimately did boil over, though. Like, it caused him to have, caused him to, all that stress and strain on his body that he was trying to suppress for 4 years since the events of No Way Home, on top of all the Endgame shit, the Infinity War, everything. He's like, like you said, he know he's tired, but he's like, I can't, and I know, like, he made the decision in his mind. He's like, I can't even have a life. I got to be Spider-Man full time. It was Spider-Man full time, and he thought that was his coping. But he was hurting, or it boiled over, because we see there during the montage, he started getting, there were signs, like his hand was straining, he was getting fatigued, exhausted, headaches, migraines, until it just, his mutated DNA was going crazy, to the point where he made an inhibitor chip. I want to get into that right now. Actually, I want to get into that right now because
Spider-Man is racist. Spider-Man is racist. He is a menace. That's Jay Jameson. The Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a menace for what he did to mutant kind and superpowers.
I don't even think Jameson really care about mutants for real. But yeah, Spider-Man is and will be the reason Damage Control and the government have the inhibitor collars.
Exactly.
And just kind of for the X-Men. And one thing that I would say I've enjoyed that Marvel has been doing so far is like slowly laying the framework and groundwork for like post Dooms, like post Secret Wars Marvel, which is mutants. Like they're laying the seeds. They got adamantium. They said Miss Marvel is a mutant. They called her a mutant. She got mutant DNA. She was probably the first mutant introduced. And then you have Namor, who we know as a mutant. I don't necessarily believe they said that in the movie, but it ain't no secret. Then we have Wonder Man, who basically is a mutant. So there's been slowly introducing these. We have adamantium now. We know who has adamantium in the Marvel universe. And then there's just been like other instances. Like I remember during the She-Hulk series, one of the newspapers she was reading, it was talking about a man getting in a fight at a bar with some claws. So it's like they've been slowly, if you've been paying attention, they've been slowly trying to start that transition to mutants. Mm-hmm. And they did a big one in this movie, which let's go ahead and talk about
hold on.
Go ahead.
Before we get there, I have like one or two more things about Spider-Man. I know he's gonna keep coming back, but yeah. I think going to a little bit into with the inhibitors and everything, I think that writing was very good in the sense that Grant, again, talking about Spider-Man in comics and big potatoes. I'm just going to keep saying little potato, big potatoes, those things. Spider-Man has done quite a few things in comics where it has had such a butterfly effect on things happening, where him building this inhibitor is going to lead to being able to capture superpower individuals, right? I think that's very nice to see, because it was, in his mind, it's so simple. But then you also see Bruce on Dr. Banner talk to him and say, well, this is kind of crazy to think about to do. Yeah. Because if you have a universal inhibitor, it's like, he's like, you can lock up anybody that's superpowered. Hypothetically. They kept saying hypothetically. So I think that's real cool, because even when you think about very far ahead, like Secret Wars and all that stuff, when it boils down to it, the reason they were able to solve all this stuff is because Miles had a damn cheeseburger in his pocket.
Yeah.
Something very small, because a Spider-Man had just something random on it, was like, oh, yeah. I guess you can have this. So I think I like that type of writing, and I think that kind of adds on to his effect. But go ahead, as you said, the elephant in the room, or should we say the mutant in the room?
The mutant in the room. The rumors were true. Shout out Sony and Marvel for keeping this very close to the chest. Now, granted, it was rumored. Nothing was confirmed. I didn't see this, but I guess there was a video that kind of like leaked that she may have like accidentally spoiled or something. I guess it was something like that. I haven't watched the video because I purposely did not want to see any spoilers for the movie. But
yeah, I only watched the very first trailer.
Basically, we got Jean Grey in the MCU. This is not a variant. This is not Jean Grey of the Fox universe. This is not like a Jean Grey's mind from the Fox universe in this person's body. No, this is full-blood Jean Grey in the main M616 universe. She was on some shit. She was evil.
Man.
Bro, I think to the scene, you gotta be an evil bitch to do what she did.
Oh, you talking about the Zendaya scene?
Yes, that's trifling.
The thing is, I knew that was about to happen. It was probably like 2 or 3 things. I said, I know it's about to happen. As soon as they got up there, and she was like, Peter, I remember. I said, Peter, don't fall for it. I said, don't fall for it.
Then you gotta move.
Then you gotta move.
But let's low down, man. That's evil. And that
you saw how pissed he got when it happened, though.
Huh?
You saw how pissed he got when it happened. His eyes turned black.
Yeah, because who does? You gotta be that's grimy. That's evil. Why are you playing with my emotions like that? You know how much I've been trying, like, basically build up the courage, but never had the courage to, like, read this letter to this person that doesn't know me, but I knew them in a previous life, and, like, was also her kind of tying back into those scenes. They had 2 of the most powerful scenes in the movie outside of the ending. Um, where it was like that scene where it was Jean Grey all along, and then when Spider-Man came back
and
and
it was on
Zendaya's
Punisher's
MJ,
and Punisher's ship.
and
She
she
read
read
the
the
letter.
letter.
That scene was very profound too.
Yeah,
Because I know we're jumping away from Jean. We're gonna go right back. But just for that scene, real quick, it really makes you feel that hurt for Spider-Man because he's doing all these things we see throughout the movie. We've talked about already, where he's saying, "Okay, I have to be Spider-Man to do all this," but then he's realizing he's still in his attempt to do this. He's still hurting people that he loves, essentially, which is what he
yeah,
doesn't want to do, but he's still effectively doing it. So that scene itself was wild, especially when she was just like, I literally have no, as much as I try, I have no memories of you. So I truly can't love you because at this point in stage, I don't know you. And even Jean said that too when they were on the roof. She's like, it's amazing. There's no thoughts of you in here, like nothing.
yeah.
So,
But I don't understand
go back.
how we get to the end and they do their little bro handshake and that just unlocks boom.
Well, okay, for that, I want to go back to G, but for that, that was muscle memory. That was muscle memory, but that wasn't him saying I remember everything. He said
Right.
Peter because MJ said Peter when Spider-Man jumped out the window. In that scene when he left and was like, he talked to Elena. He was like, "Oh, we figured out where she is," and he jumped out the window. Zendaya's character MJ said, she said something Peter, and then that's when Ned looked at her. He was like, "His name is Peter."
Yeah,
that's why he
I
did
didn't
that at
notice
the very
that.
end. Yeah, so he said that because he's like, "Oh, okay, I know Peter is Spider-Man, so I have to find out who this Peter is." But since he introduced himself, I know this is Spider-Man.
I got you.
Yeah. But Jean Grey, I'll say this: I really enjoyed her character in the movie, but I also will say, I knew it was her, but at the same time, I partially did not want to believe it was her until they fully said it. So that was the one point in the movie where I will say I was just like, damn, it's really Jean. But I did enjoy her character and how she performed throughout the rest of the movie. I did like her character. But that one part did throw me off a little bit, even though I knew it was going to happen.
I completely agree because I felt the exact same way. And we talked about this off air. Like the moment I saw Jean Elaine Gray, I was like, I literally audibly said, "Come on, man." Like, come on, dog. What? And it just, like you said, I'm like, I personally didn't want to believe she was in this movie. She is now. It worked. She was great. Sadie Sink is an amazing actor. She's gonna do great as Jean. They got one of the four pillars of Marvel down in terms of X-Men pillars. Really, Marvel pillars in general. Well, I guess another one, because I would say those pillars are Susan Storm, Jean Grey, Storm, and Rogue. So they got two now. They need to get the other two right. But anywho, yeah, I'm just that because that scene we were talking about earlier where they was on the roof and she made Zendaya jump off the roof. I'm like, there's no way Jean Grey is doing this shit. Then I'm like, okay, maybe it's like Madeline Pryor, like a Jean Grey clone.
See, that's the thing is, I was thinking that too. My thought process, especially when they said Sarah, because I said this off air. I heard maybe Sarah Gray one time. So when they said Sarah, I said, are they trying to redo Madeline Pryor and Sarah Gray and they're twins now? They're trying to redo that, kind of rehash that. So my mind was racing, trying to figure all that stuff out. But yeah, for a split second, I was like, oh, Mr. Sinister involved, maybe. So I thought it was maybe something with that. But I believe it still worked. I think one thing that they did very well in this movie, and shout out to Destin for this, is her looking for what they thought what they said was VMAX. That plot point flowing through from her and then Spider-Man and all of them saying, okay, what the hell is VMAX? There's got to be something top secret. I think that was such a good little plot device, because when it comes to Marvel fans, everybody's looking for Easter eggs and all these things. You hear VMAX, somebody might be in the theater like, damn, let me look up real quick what VMAX is. I feel like I heard something like that before. Things like that. See, exactly. So somebody might be on their phone real quick. Let me turn the light down, look real quick.
Well, actually, I didn't, because I didn't want that. Like, I didn't want to unintentionally spoil the movie for myself. So I was thinking, like, what the fuck is VMAX? Yeah, but I didn't search nothing up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like people sitting there like, okay, what could VMAX be? Let me think about the history of X-Men and all this other stuff I thought about. And for it to simply be the last words that her sister saw as she looks up as well to the VMAX, which is just ventilation. I thought that was to me, that was amazing writing. For it to be such a simple piece that driving all these people to this one collision course at the end. Yeah, it's just some words. I was like, I said, this is real cinema right here, man. Because I was the same way. I was in that chair. I was like, what? I said, VMAX. I said, is it this? Is it this? I was going through a list of characters and shit in my mind. I was like, okay, VMAX. I said, is it the prison? I said, are they talking about a different prison right now? So that plot line was great. I am interested to see how Jean's character moves forward. We know she's going. It looked like she was going upstate New York.
I was thinking the same thing.
Maybe they have maybe this universe is gonna now have an Xavier Academy that we just don't know about, but it's very, very, very low key. That they just haven't introduced. So maybe it's stuff like that. Maybe it's not. I just want to see, I guess, and think about what that progression looks like. I did like how her powers went. I'm glad they gave her that buff at the end, obviously, to signify and kind of remind people that nah, this is gonna be Jean Grey. Don't worry, she just got to go through a little training. She's still young, so I think that's gonna be very interesting to see for real. But Sadie Sink did amazing.
No, I couldn't agree more. I do think, I was thinking the same thing. Like, she's going to upstate New York, Rochester. I was waiting to see if I was going to see a Rochester sign. And I'm like, we know where she going. But then, because usually Xavier's the one that finds the mutant. It ain't like Jean Grey looking for it. Which makes sense, because how would people know? Like, this school got to be low key. Like, Charles Xavier got to be putting a fucking
force
wipe
field
on everyone's mind to be like, have you seen that school I'm trying to get my kids in that Charles School for the Gifted. That seems kind of no. But so, like, Charles using Cerebro, which we'll probably see in the X-Men movie, and again, I'm very excited to see who they cast for all these roles. But he's on Cerebro right now, and ain't no way you're not telling me he didn't just see psionically through what just went on in New York City.
Oh yeah, he got that spike on his reading. He saw that for sure. Saw that for sure.
He just felt that in his wheelchair, like.
Nigga eyes flung open. Nah, but I guess what are your thoughts on, and I know you slightly mentioned it earlier, on Punisher.
I love the Punisher. John Bernthal Punisher. And I didn't watch the Netflix Punisher show. I might have to after this. Like, I really love. I did. I enjoyed it. I can see why people didn't, but
I liked the special.
That was just kind of like a passion project from John Bernthal. So I'm like, I'm not putting too much stake in that. But I love John Bernthal's Punisher. I loved his dynamic with Spider-Man. It was like good cop, bad cop. Every time he was on screen, some shit was popping off. And I also thought it was very funny when Bruce Banner Hulk died, and he was basically like, nigga, I ain't trying to fight the Hulk. The hell you think this is? I'm not an Avenger.
Bro, when he pulled up with that LMG, hey, and then Spidey was like, what are you gonna do? Tickle him, Frank? Bro, their dynamic was one of the highlights of this movie. Also, Spidey's comedy in this one, top tier. Because Spider-Man in the comics, he is funny, but he's also slightly an asshole. Like, for all things, he's definitely an asshole to people sometimes. So, and I felt like in this movie he was definitely like that, especially to Frank. So, but no, that scene was crazy.
You see that scene where Jean Grey was looking through like the cameras and there was a clip of them arguing? I'm like, nigga, y'all have too much time to be arguing. Both face standing him in this fucking burn and this broken down building.
Like, what are you arguing about right now, bro? You need to go.
Like, you need to worry about Dr. Banner. Right now.
Bro. Yeah, no, Job, his character, the Punisher in this was great. I can't wait to see how he is in these other movies, because he gotta be in. I don't know if he's in Doomsday. I don't remember if they announced it. So Secret Wars, he needs to be in Secret Wars, bro.
I'm not putting too much stake in that, honestly.
He's there, great. I just need him in there to have a gun and to shoot that dude and be like, "Oh, this shit ain't working."
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, dude.
You heard that?
Dude, I loved it.
No, that was his character's great. Also, he's finally back, Savage Hulk. And let me say, we were right. He didn't say the words, "I remember you," but he did everything without saying the words when he looked at Spidey. So all I have to say is we were right about that. We said, if anybody remember him, it's going to be the Hulk.
Yeah. So, just those scenes of, I know we didn't get much, but it was really good just seeing Hulk do Hulk things again. Bruh. And hearing
being proportional.
His iconic lines, being big and scary and strong. There are some things I'm like, come on, dog, this is the fucking Hulk. Like when he uppercutted him with that soccer bopper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, man, it's the fucking Hulk. But there was other scenes where they still show like, this still a strong dude. Like when he was holding up all that building rubble and still was mixing up Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. It literally took Spider-Man saying like, you remember me. You remember me.
You know me, bro. You know me.
You know me. But those are really good. I really loved just Mark Ruffalo's scenes in here, like being almost like just being the professor, being like the Dr. Connors to Spider-Man in this movie. And we might still get a Dr. Connors, like an MCU version of Dr. Connors, because we did see the Lizard, but that was from Andrew Garfield's universe, so we still might get that. But
yeah, I'm interested to see where his Mark Ruffalo's and Hulk is now, because we know they damage control took him, since they said he obviously destroyed his stuff. I don't know, they didn't really say anything after that. They just showed it on the news, so we don't know if he's going to be released or not, since it technically wasn't him.
I could see, because damage control. Well, there's one thing. Damn, I forgot about it though, Keith. But damage control they're really starting to set them up as like the future. Marvel's kind of doing like a.
They're mixing.
I don't know about 2 times. Like there's a lot of big bads that are coming up post Doomsday and Secret
They're
Wars.
mixing them almost as if they're the who's over Sentinels? What corporation? But it was somebody. Was it Stryker?
Yeah, it was William.
Was it William Stryker?
Well, in the Fox universe, it was William Stryker is more like a evangelist. I think it's like no, it's Bolivar Trask.
Bolivar Trask, yeah.
So I would not be surprised if there is a Bolivar Trask in Damage Control that's under William Metzger's like division. Mm-hmm. It seems like he ain't going nowhere. Like he's somehow escaped, and he's gonna be we're gonna be seeing him a lot, especially with this mutant saga starting. Also, I guess I was wrong in terms of how mutant hate. Well, I don't know, because there technically isn't mutant hate yet, because no one really knows mutants exist.
It's more so control. Yeah, it's more so the subjugation. The way to subjugate them is practically built now, but there hasn't been a mutant that has like flared out and done something where it's like that's known to the public, I should say. Because this technically still isn't known. They just know some shit. New York just knows shit happened, but it's another day in New York. So they ain't tripping for real.
And it's like there's not any, because it's not like the world doesn't know or hasn't seen these mutants. I'm thinking Namor. Like Namor is a fucking menace to the world right now. He's trying to take over the land.
Yeah, there's no classification for them specifically yet.
Exactly.
Like in the MCU, the way they have it set up, they're just say super powered individuals. There's no classification of saying, okay, this person is from a experiment that went wrong. This person we know is from this. These are mutants like that. It's nothing like that right now. Everybody's just a super powered individual.
Yeah. And I wonder when they're going to start freely saying that, because the first time the MCU has said the word, well, they said mutation. And that was in Miss Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
But they never literally they haven't used the word mutants yet. I don't believe so.
It'll be after the reset, probably.
Because I really could sense, especially towards like once Jean Grey was revealed, it didn't. It wasn't like Captain America 4 bad, where it's like that was basically a closeted Hulk movie. Like what I'm trying to say is I could sense this movie trying its hardest not to say the word mutant, but saying everything else adjacent to it and just not making it a secret X-Men movie. But yeah, kind of going back to William Metzger's character. If it's one thing that nigga know how to do, is play a conniving villain or just like a antagonist that you just don't want to see succeed. I think what's his name, like Tillman,
Tramell.
Yeah, from Severance to I'm not sure what else he's been in movie wise.
I mean Tramell Tillman, not yeah. Am I saying the name? Yeah, Tramell Tillman. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, his character was great. And I think the way he one is the way he was lying to Spider-Man. That was convincing, but it's also the way he was telling the truth, because when he asked about VMAX, he genuinely did not know. That's the funny thing, is he genuinely didn't know. And even when Gene asked him, he was like, why does everybody keep asking me
about this fucking VMAX shit?
He said, I just want to know how to create another you. I don't care about what VMAX is.
Now, well,
I was gonna say that's another plot point, is them trying to create pretty much a telekinetic.
Yeah, and they
them trying to look at data, brain waves.
Yeah, they pulled some data from their little experiment they were doing on Gene. I don't know how much they have of that left, before shit went haywire. But they had, if this sort of is salvageable, who's to say we don't see like I don't get me to start thinking character on the spot, but yeah, no, I don't if that's being introduced again, especially with now damage control having the technology to make inhibitor collars.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say, a Mystique, once she gets introduced, they don't use her, or some shit happens where they don't use her to make Sentinels, like how we saw in Days of Future Past.
But yeah, for that, like Mystique as Sentinels, I personally wouldn't want them to do that, just because with how overpowered they were. I would want, if they do that, I would want that to be some later on, like way later on. But that's just a personal preference more so than anything. But I can see them doing that for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to get Sentinels very soon with Doomsday and in the Fox or in this X-Men universe that they show with the Fox characters. So we going to see them.
For sure.
But I wanted to kind of get into the end and really the post-credit scene. But before we get into that, how did you feel about, the ending, like that final scene when Tom Holland pretty much mastered his newfound powers? I also, side note, I'm kind of very glad that they didn't go straight Man Spider, because that would have been very grotesque. That would have took me out the movie.
I'm glad too. I think that with the way the movie was set up, Man Spider would have been too much.
Yeah,
me personally, I think that would have been like, there's a lot going on in this movie. So I'm not mad about that. I'm cool with the partial transformation. I really enjoyed the scenes with him finally mastering and saying, "I'm both."
Yeah,
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I mean, I really did enjoy the dialogue that him and Jean had at the end too, and them bringing back Aunt May as that catalyst of saying, like, you are enough, even though you have these powers. Realize that you are enough, even at times you may feel down or sad or angry. Just realize why you're actually doing this, and that there's people that support you. So I really enjoyed that. I also thought, one, with Frank shooting him, that little, I think that was profound, just to see how Frank has changed from the Netflix to the special to now, how his character has changed.
Yep.
And a little, just to go back, that little dialogue he had with Spider-Man when they was on the boat, when he's saying, when he's trashing him, he's like, "Why are you covering your face? Like, I know you know this girl. Like, I don't know how you know her, but I know you know her." And Spidey's like, "Oh, I always keep the mask on." And Frank's like, "You think if my family was here right now, I'd be like, I wouldn't want to talk to them and all this other stuff." And then he go on that tangent of saying how you need to pretty much be yourself and be truthful to Spidey. So all in all, I enjoyed it. The call back to the Civil War panel when Frank brings Spidey in to the hospital in the comics after he got beat up, practically killed in the comics too. I thought that was a very nice callback. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was really good ending. And then post-credit scene, we get the Spider Tracker, which we are introduced to in the movie that Ned Leeds created. Bless you. And we see it basically at the end of the movie, and it goes to another, it says new Spider-Man found. And it goes out to where that new Spider-Man is, and they have the indicator in space where this new Spider-Man is at. So that can mean a lot of different things.
I thought it said, I better cut you off. I thought it said not new Spider-Man found. I thought it first said Spider-Man not found, then it said then it did the beep like going out to say, "Oh,
Nah, it
Spider-Man's
was
down
like
here."
new Spider-Man.
Oh,
It was like new or another Spider-Man.
oh. In my mind, I think that's because we know he's not in Doomsday. I think that's saying he's on Battle World. That's what I think.
Maybe. Well, I took it as like because they were. I feel like they were very intentional with like not saying Tom Holland. They said Spider-Man because I don't think he's gonna be in Doomsday or Secret Wars. But we're gonna get either Tobey Maguire, or Andrew Garfield, or both. Well, it just did once. I think we're either getting one or the other in. If not Doomsday, then definitely Secret Wars. I just don't. I don't see how you have Tom Holland Spider Man, basically kind of boots on the ground type soldier, and then say like, psych nigga, we need you back. We need you up here. So
see,
I don't know.
I was thinking it as Secret Wars to almost be how the plot line is in the comics. When I think it's Mr. Fantastic that builds the ship. I can't remember who exactly builds the ship when they go to Battle World, but I know he's on there if I remember correctly. I think Doctor Strange, Black Panther, it's some more characters. I know Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spider-Man is on there, but also Miles Morales is on there as well because he sneaks on there, if I remember correctly. So I was thinking it as that, as they're off to Battle World or they're off to an incursion.
Yeah,
because it's so bad on Earth. They're just like, we need these group of people. Y'all the ones we got available. Y'all got to go and get there. That's what I was thinking it.
Yeah, I almost thought initially until it went to space. I thought it was going to be like a hint to Miles, and it was going to be like another Spider-Man located, and it was going to go to Harlem. Because it was backing out of New York. I'm like, oh, it might just go to Harlem. It kept backing out. I was like, oh, I'm extra wrong. I'm very wrong. But yeah, that's my theories on it. I think it's pointing out there will be a Spider-Man, and if not Doomsday, definitely Secret Wars
For sure.
And it's either gonna be Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield.
It's gonna be one of them three, or they might throw in Miles. We'll see.
Or Shamik Moore. Could you imagine that nigga in a fucking Miles Morales suit? Nah, buddy.
Hell no.
But any final thoughts, Feek, on the movie or
final thoughts? Great movie. Marvel give Destin Daniel the keys. Give him the keys to the vault. Let him be the creative director of everything now, man.
Yeah.
Just let it be him. Under him, put Jack Schreier, however you say his name, that did Thunderbolts, and then let it rock. But great movie. It's one of the best Spider-Man movies, in my opinion. Whenever I think of doing a rating, I don't want to do it on this review, but
it's up there.
I want to rewatch them all. But right now, for me, it's top 2 or 3. I think it's top 2. In my opinion, it's the best Tom Holland one for sure.
Yeah.
Like to me, I don't want to say easily, but easily.
It's definitely better than Homecoming and Far From Home. You can argue No Way Home. But I think, it's definitely top 5. I really just had to sit down and review to give like an honest rating. Mm-hmm. But that being said, thank you guys for tuning in for another Redacted review. Again, if you made it this far and somehow have not seen the Spider-Man movie, please go watch that movie. It's very good. And if you have seen it, I would suggest watching it again.
Facts.
With that being said, it's been your boy Dana Dane.
It's been your boy Walfeek.
And we out.
Peace.
First piece, Kobe, I'ma show him how to shoot. On the 4-5, jump in the ass, my crew. Yeah, step with a fat, keep it all of the hoes on mute. Pull apart, could be yellow with a brew. 48 for a quick burst. Crazy 8s in the back, yeah, the trunk on hot like a cube. 40 on me when I'm in the backseat. Blotter, paper pre-cut. Chris make juice, it'll drop like ink. Chain came with a clink, plate came with a sink. The Bernthal came with a mate. Charcoal's white like paint. My hoe by the hoe, cause she know it's my king. Hit on my side, cause I drop a song. Think you should hit up the link. The phenotype came from the pink, Colombian thing. Yeah, the genetics unique. Cellular right on the beat. I'm teaching the hoe like I'm Play-Doh. I got the veggies like by the tomato. You got a basic hoe making Alfredo. I put a bag on a hoe on my payroll. I get active and then I lay low. The salmon was breaded with panko. In my soup, I believe it was makeup. Got my Soviet clutch in the Draco. You said it was bacon, we taking your cake though. I got the tree like a